we did a round of IVF. So like we chose an egg donor. It's a really emotionally tough process.
And then they go into genetic testing. So they go in and they biopsy each embryo and see which ones are genetically safe to make it to a viable pregnancy.
Oh, okay.
And unfortunately, only 2 of ours made it.
And there's not 100% transfer rate, so you need
And
like
we wanted,
a lot.
and we, at the time and still now.
Totally. Okay, so we did a round of IVF. So like we chose an egg donor, and we fertilized the eggs, and we do have a couple embryos, but it's a really emotionally tough process. We didn't get the results that we wanted to get, so we had like decision fatigue, and we were emotionally drained from the ups and downs of just simply going through that process together. So we took a brief pause. It's also really expentive to do.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
How did you decide on whose sperm?
So you can split it. So of the egg retrieval, we got 26 eggs. So 13 were fertilized by me, 13 were fertilized by Jeff, and then they grow for 5 days, and you track them. And so out of the 26 is what we got on day 1. Day 3 we had 15. Day 5 we had 5, and then they go into genetic testing. So they go in and they biopsy each embryo and see which ones are genetically safe to make it to a viable pregnancy. And unfortunately, only 2 of ours made it.
And there's not 100% transfer rate, so you need like a lot.
And we at the time and still now.
What point did you guys get up to then? Did you?
We made it through. Like we just only ended up with 2.
Okay.
What does that mean? Is that bad?
So here's the thing: we have 2 that we technically could implant into a surrogate,
Right.
Yeah.
but it's not 100% chance that it'll take, like that she'll get pregnant.
Okay. And then even the whole pregnancy of the 9 months. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then you run into all these dilemmas of, okay, let's say 1 takes. We really want 2 kids.
Are we okay with them having different moms, like
genetic mothers?
which is fine
because we only have 2. If 1 doesn't take, or if 0 take, like then we have to do it
okay
again.
with just having 1? It's like all these things that go through your mind.
How many do people have? Because you said we only had 2. Like I don't know much about
So
surrogacy.
we have a friend who's going through IVF that's a woman, and they say for every viable child you want to have, how many embryos did they tell her?
Like 5.
Yeah, so like have 5
so
for
you should
every
have
1.
10,
Yeah,
like
Okay.
And we have friends who, got 11, and that's great. So long story short, we took a brief pause, and then kind of rolls up into our conversation from earlier. We really love this chapter of our life that we're in right now.
Yeah.
So we were like, you know what? Let's stretch it a little bit longer. And we're also kind of young.
Yeah.
In the gay dad
I love how you
world.
caveat it, kinda.
I mean, you guys are
young.
We are.
It was the other thing too, was like, again, COVID really changed our lives, and we got really comfortable with each other at home, which not that we weren't already, but we fell into this very like, oh, we could do this. We could stay at home. We could have a kid. And then the world opens back up. And I'm like, oh wait, this is actually all the things we were missing.
Yeah.
And for me to play back into the what I was saying earlier, like a kid for me was always, that's the next chapter. Let's work to get to there. Then we'll have the kid, and that's the next chapter. And like, I'm so glad that we didn't do that, because having a kid to start a next chapter, I don't think is a good enough reason to have a kid. I think and thank God, because now we get to sit around and we are like giddy every single night being like, I can't believe we live in this apartment. I can't believe we have
Sleepover.
this stuff. Literally. That was part of that. Jeff said that in
my wedding
in
vows.
our vows. Like,
Oh, did you? Oh, that's cute. I mean, I watched that video.
yeah. You're like, subconsciously, I knew that.
I knew that.
But yeah, so we're on a hiatus, but yeah, there's no rush for us.
We're gonna enjoy this chapter of our lives for a couple more years, I think, and then
Cross that bridge when we come to it.
Kids are like, I know obviously you guys will know people with kids and stuff, but kids are such a big commitment.
Yeah.
Totally.
And like, I don't think people realize it. Like, we don't have kids, we have nephews.
Yeah.
But we're so involved with their lives.
same.
Yeah.
That we're like, do we actually want this?
No,
I
same.
don't know. Yeah.
We play with it so much because I think, especially at the beginning, we were like, surrogacy, you want our own baby.
Yeah.
It's like, you'll be an amazing dad. And we went back and forth. And I think like kind of similar, like the timing side.
Yeah.
Like we don't have like a genetic clock where we need to have a child by
Exactly.
a certain time. So we can live out a couple of years just enjoying being engaged and then married for a couple of years, and then maybe later, like it's not like it has to be done. So
Yeah.
I get
I'm
that.
also a monster when I don't sleep, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
to
tend
look
to,
forward
I
to.
tend
And
to
the
take
sleeping will
on
be
the
intense.
responsibilities.
thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the other thing sort of that ties into that conversation and what we do for work is we've always shared our relationship when we bought our house, when we went through IVF, and it's something that I'm glad we shared it, but like now that we got the results that we got and we're dealing with it how we're dealing with it, we still get comments every day. Are you guys still having babies? When are you guys still going to be dads? Are you guys in trouble? Blah blah blah. And it's like it's a can of worms that we opened up, and I'm not offended that people are asking, but it's like it's so much more of a process that you can't explain every single emotion through it. And so I wish we maybe had waited till we got the results to talk about it, because that really affected us for like quite some time.